the acquisition is great. It's great for patients, and we're all getting a nice payout, so I can't complain too much. I just don't want to interview again.
Yeah. Yep.
I know. I'm looking for
I
my trust fund to come in. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Uh-huh.
All right, we have Jennifer here. We have, I think, a quorum, but we're waiting for the chairman, correct?
Yes.
And then we have Secretary Snyder. Thank you for joining us today, Secretary. And Tuchese is here from the board. Thank you for being here as well.
Hi.
I'm not sure if I see anybody else. We'll do roll call on the members of the Executive Committee shortly. So Secretary Paley will be here shortly.
Oh, there he is.
All right. Let's get him admitted.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Great. Just getting set up here. Apologies for running a bit over my last meeting.
So we do have a quorum.
And Zenobia is going to be with us in just 1 minute as well. Are we actually at a quorum already or no?
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
We are? Okay. So sorry to slow things down. Need to get the right camera running. Right.
I'm impressed that you did that by yourself. I would have needed tech support.
Everyone is waiting for us. But I'm just trying to get set up, so I'm almost ready.
Are we on mute?
No,
Nope,
I think they
we
hear
got
us,
you.
and
Absolutely.
we're just about ready to go here. Okay. We have a quorum. So, all right. So I'm going to call the meeting to order. Are we ready to do that?
Yes.
All right. And the names of the members of the public body who are participating remotely must be announced. So I'm going to ask Jennifer to do a roll call.
Of course. Chancellor Julie
We
Chen
can't hear you, Jennifer.
I can hear you.
Maybe everyone else can, and I'm having sound issues. Hang on 1 second. Oh, that's interesting. Let's try this. How about now? Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Yes, Jennifer, please go ahead. Apologies.
Okay. Yep, no problem. So the members of the public the members of the board who are participating are Chancellor Julie Chen,
Yes.
Rupa Cornell, Joe Durant, Bogdan Vernescu, Paige Fetzer-Borelli, and Secretary Eric Paley. And also from the board who are participating but not on the executive committee are Secretary Jason Snyder and Tracasey De Andrea. I don't think I missed anyone, but please let me know. Okay, great.
Okay. So I'd like to remind everyone of the open meeting law procedures regarding public participation in this meeting. After notifying the chair, any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting of a public body, subject to reasonable requirements of the chair. If anyone intends to record this meeting, now would be your time to let me know. Okay, so I'm going to just turn to counsel for a moment. I was given notice over email that someone might be recording. Is that considered sufficient notice, counsel, or do they need to speak up at this time?
No, I think we need notice that they are actually recording. A may is not sufficient.
Okay, so can you give a moment, given I was given some notice previously, but we would require you to speak now if you're recording. Okay, so we're going to assume this meeting is not being recorded. No person shall address a meeting of a public body without permission of the chair. Since we're not taking any questions or comments from the public during this meeting, members of the public may follow up after the meeting with Michelle Sweet, whose contact information is on the meeting notice, and she will direct your questions and comments to the appropriate staff member. Okay, with that, I think we're ready for the approval of the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Jennifer, would you please take the roll?
Yes. Chancellor Chen,
Yes.
Rupa,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Bogdan,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
and Secretary Paley.
Yes.
All right, minutes are approved.
Okay, so I went at length during the last executive session and board session about all of the amazing events we've been doing in MassTech. Now that we're in a new year, I'd love to just say it was an incredible 4 months of me getting ramped up and the terrific work that MassTech is doing. I applaud Carolyn and the team. They've also been working extremely closely with our new undersecretary and getting aligned on various different elements. Most recently, a lot of deep thought on with the AI hub on the public commons plan and system. But Shield is ongoing and lots of great initiatives. There's also been a lot of discussion about quantum across the universities, and I know that the quantum team at MassTech has been engaging that. And then we've also launched the RFI for the residential internship program, which I'm particularly excited about. And it's something that right off the bat, when I took the job, I chatted with Pat and Carolyn about, and they jumped on it. So we're very eager to see what the universities propose around creating a residential experience for those who are interning in the innovation economy in the greater Boston area. That's just a quick set of highlights. I don't want to spend as much time as I've done in the past, but that's my update. Assuming there aren't any specific questions, I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn, the CEO of MassTech, for her update.
Great. Hearing no questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I just want to thank everyone a very happy new year. We finished 2025 strong, and I want to thank each and every member of the executive committee and the board for your continued service. I felt that our meeting in December was a really great celebration of the work that we do together, and I value your perspectives, and I know the staff does as well. They consider these meetings and your questions and your comments as professional development in a certain way to learn from your style and also the content that you're offering so we can continuously improve our programs. We hit the ground running in 2026 with the SHIELD initiative on behalf of the administration. We'd like to do a full briefing to the board on that at the in-person board meeting in March. We also launched our 2 robotics programs, which were the last of the programs that MassTech is responsible for in the Mass Leads Act. So that's in addition to the AI Hub, the Tech Hubs program, and continuing to implement our other programs that were reauthorized in the bill, which are our manufacturing programs and the capital programs that we run through the Innovation Institute. So we're really pleased with where we're landing on Mass Leads Act. 2026 also brings an important development for the Mass eHealth Institute and the Mass Cyber Center, two of those divisions you heard from last board meeting from John Petrozelli and Keely Benson. And we were invited by the Executive Office of Health and Human Services to join forces in the response to the federal government's request for proposals for the Rural Health Initiative. On January 2nd, Governor Healy announced that Massachusetts has secured $162 million to improve rural health across the state. And we're really proud of Keely Benson, the director who spearheaded our engagement with HHS on our part of the proposal. They're sorting through their implementation plan, and we await next steps. So there's lots more to hear about that in 2026. And that's really, unless there are questions, we are excited about another impactful year for 2026. Happy to take questions. Otherwise, over to you, Mr. Chairman. So we'll pause for a second.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like there's any questions. I also want to acknowledge another board member who's joined us, right? I believe Pam Reeve is on the call now and was not previously. And Pam, welcome. Okay, so we're going to go to agenda item number 4, Center for Advanced Manufacturing. We're going to talk about CAM. I'm going to turn it over to Lily Fitzgerald, who is going to jump in, who's the director of CAM.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Rachel. I take it you're advancing the slides. Thank you. So we have one M2I2 award that you'll hear from our grant manager, Ju-Ching Wong here. I think my only comments at the top are this continues to be an extremely popular and competitive program, I think reflected of the funding environment that's available and how many hard tech startups are in Massachusetts and just how incredibly useful this funding and this type of funding is to these companies at this phase. So Ju-Ching continues to manage a large grant with a lot of competition very well. So Ju-Ching, please take it away.
Okay, sure. So we can just go to the next slide. So today we would like to propose a M2I2 award to Galy in partnership with the Institute for Cacao and Chocolate Research in Cambridge. This grant will support them to scale up the production of their cell-cultured cocoa using modular and low-cost bioreactor systems that is based in New Bedford. So with this grant, Galy will build a pre-commercial bioreactors and complete a full process validation. In addition, they will work with their nonprofit partner to share knowledge on cell agriculture with a broader community. They will also collaborate with Harvard University and Boston University on joint research and providing scholarships to students. They plan to add 10 jobs because of this grant.
I'm hoping this is going to become the most delicious grant we ever give. But this must be one of the most fun ones to engage, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we are looking forward to that product.
Yeah, exactly. Anything more on this grant before we open to questions?
That's all the introduction from my side. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone have questions about how soon they can have the chocolate or whether it's dark or milk?
Yes, I think we need to have samples before we can really move forward. Thank you.
I think we need to have board taste testing. Absolutely.
I will say that I was telling my daughter who's at college, who's a molecular bio major about this, and she said, this is the future of all food. So I thought that was a very interesting response. And hopefully here in Massachusetts, we are pioneering. I know we're doing a lot in food tech, but this is hopefully one of the things that will help drive that future, which is exciting. Okay, so any other questions on this? Should we go ahead to the resolution? Great, so here's the motion. Do I have will someone please move the motion forward?
So
I'll
move.
move it.
Yeah, and
Second.
second? Okay, terrific. Well, let's do roll.
All right. Chancellor Chen,
Yes.
Rupa,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Bogdan,
Yes.
Paige,
Yes.
and Secretary Paley.
Very enthusiastic, yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, great. Assuming there's nothing else there, I'm going to turn it over now to Pat Larkin for the next for Innovation Institute motion and grant.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I'm actually going to have James Burns, our Senior Director for Grant Making, do the presentation. I think the one thing I want to just say about this is now that we kind of have a body of work and a portfolio of work that we've done over the years, that we can start saying that this particular investment leverages and connects with other investments we have. In this particular case, it's tied into the Blue Nerve initiative that we support with MITRE, the New Bedford Ocean Cluster Tech Hub. They're actually leveraging some compute resource from MGH-PCC. So, James, can you take us through this one?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm happy to be at a point where we can present this one. We've been working on this one for over a year. It was actually initiated by Seaweave, the technology partner from New Zealand, who reached out to Moiety and EED, who met with them. They have expertise in technologies they're developing in advanced machine vision, sensor integration, and AI-driven analysis platforms. And they were looking to engage with the Massachusetts ecosystem and find help to develop their technologies further. So we met with them a few times, and then at Pat's suggestion, we introduced them to UMass Dartmouth. And some of you will recall UMass Dartmouth got $8 million last year or the year before to kind of enhance their capabilities in a number of areas that crossed over with what Seaweave was trying to accomplish, including aquaculture, autonomous underwater vehicles, AI-enabled edge computing for the marine environment. So what they're developing here will result in a combined observational and AI and machine learning enabled nowcast and forecast system for Massachusetts aquaculture operators. It's going to integrate real-time data streams with AI-driven analytics and predictive modeling, which will enhance productivity and sustainability for aquaculture. And because it's AI supported, it doesn't just mirror real systems. It learns as the data is generated by the sensors that will be put in the water for this project, which will result in a sophisticated decision support tool for oyster aquaculture farm management and environmental stewardship. And then beyond aquaculture, this investment advances marine sensing, autonomous systems, AI, and edge computing capabilities for the entire marine economy. And to ensure that this investment is leveraged appropriately for the aquaculture industry, UMass Dartmouth has engaged the Charlton College of Business to develop a marketing campaign positioning Massachusetts oysters and other aquaculture products as a premium sustainable seafood product. They're also working with the New Bedford Aquaculture Advisory Committee and the Massachusetts Aquaculture Association to ensure that the technology is disseminated and informed by industry. So at the end of the day, this is going to result in a commercially available technology package. UMass Dartmouth and its partners will retain their own IP that is either existing or developed through this project. As Pat said, they're leveraging the New Bedford Ocean Tech Hub. They're developing a digital twin. And together they're going to develop shared data streams and then key data and visualization modeling dashboards. And then all the data generated by this project will be fed into the Blue Nerve system that Pat mentioned earlier. I think we're up to 10 nodes around the region that are all feeding data into that system. And then just a quick word on the external review, which was very robust and very supportive of this investment. We had Alyssa Peterson, the CEO and co-founder of See Ahead, which is a blue tech incubator that represents dozens of startups. She had, even as we were having the external review, she had a number of startups in mind that could tie into this and potentially get help developing their technologies. And we also had Dr. Karen Panetta from Tufts University. She, through a Seaport Economic Council grant, developed other camera technologies that utilize multispectral imaging for underwater mapping and object identification. And there's a lot of synergies with this project here, considering the advanced vision technologies that will be developed. And that's it.
I forgot to mention, James does our marine tech, if you didn't notice. Thank you, James.
Excellent presentation. Secretary Snyder?
Yeah, so one of my sons is actively studying aquaculture and actually worked off of Cape Cod studying the oyster beds there, and he's you know, the impact to Massachusetts is significant, and I just wanted to emphasize that.
Right.
Yeah, so we have an alum that has a oyster farm off the Cape. So, but I was going to ask about the other connectivity, but Pat, between what you and James said, it sounds like you've done a great job already of connecting them to various folks around the Commonwealth. So,
well, hopefully they can also pair this with Scallop information, because I learned at the Seaport Economic Council that scallops are now 50% of our fishing industry, which just kind of blew my mind. So that's a huge target as they grow beyond, potentially into other parts of the shellfish industry. But it seems like a fantastic project, and thanks for the terrific presentation on this. Should we move to are there other questions?
James, Secretary, I have a question for James. James, did the Division of Marine Fisheries, do they have any involvement in this program at all? I know the division plays a major role in permitting and research. Actually, I was speaking with an aquatic biologist from the division back maybe a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about the growth of the aquaculture oyster industry in Massachusetts. It's just pretty fantastic. And he was talking about, like, one of the major risks is harmful algae blooms, and them monitoring that. They actually have a monitoring station down in Mattapoisett. So I'm just curious whether that feeds into this at all.
So DMF plays a role on both of the aquaculture committees I mentioned, and they also have relationships with UMass Dartmouth. And the predictive abilities that will be developed by the system will help the growers get ready for the potential for those algal blooms that you mentioned. And hopefully someday we'll be able to figure ways to kind of prevent them or protect from them.
Great, thank you.
I have a question. I hope this won't take us down a rat hole. Great presentation. This is very exciting. I'm just thinking about all the different players involved at one level or another. I mean, this project is to develop the digital twin. That's this project. But all of the outcomes are the so what's after that, in a way, and how all of these different entities work with each other, collaborate with each other, and help to take advantage of this technology and others that you have told us about. How are we envisioning that taking place? Is there an entity that already exists? I don't know enough about this part of our ecosystem to know that. Or is there something that will be created so that not only do we create this platform, but what the value that it can actually create actually gets manifest?
Yeah, so that's an interesting observation. It's actually a really interesting time in the marine ecosystem, because there's a lot of larger efforts that are forcing folks to play nicely, kind of for the first time. So our New Bedford ocean cluster, the tech hub there, and the digital twin they're going to be developing, which is going to be a huge asset for Massachusetts, is going to tie well into a big regional effort. There's a federal tech hub. It's called the Southeast New England Ocean Tech Hub. It's led by Rhode Island, but we're their partner on that one. That combines all of Southeast New England, and all the data that we're talking about is all from both New Bedford, from this project, from Miter's Blue Nerve. It's all going to be aggregated in one system. We're still working out what that looks like and how it's leveraged best, but I would argue that this is probably the most collaborative this industry has been, at least in my experience in the time that I've been around. So there's still a lot to figure out, but just the data alone and figuring out how to aggregate that and utilize that best is a huge opportunity for this industry right now.
Well,
not to mention the fact that the robotics are maturing, the autonomous systems are maturing. So there's going to be even more sensors and robots in the water generating more data and letting us know exactly what's going on in the oceans.
Yeah, and you hit on something else, which I think is very exciting. We've talked about in some of our other projects, which is, yes, we are the Massachusetts Tech Collaborative, but there are a lot of problems and issues that do not recognize geopolitical boundaries. And so when we can do things in collaboration with our regional neighbors, I think that's potentially really exciting for us as well. So thank you for that, James.
Pleasure.
Giving a moment for any further questions. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve this grant?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Terrific. Let's go ahead and call the roll.
Counselor Chen,
Yes.
Rupa,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Bogdan,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
and Secretary Paley.
Yes.
Motion's approved.
Okay, so item 7 is the Mass Broadband Institute. I'm going to turn it over to Jody Jones to talk about this particular grant.
Great. Thank you, Secretary Paley. Good afternoon, Executive Committee. Today, the Broadband Institute is bringing 2 familiar programs back for your consideration. The first item is within our RANGE grant program, which is providing resources to housing operators who are enrolled in the Affordable Housing Residential Retrofit Program. RANGE grants are giving dollars directly to housing operators to fund digital literacy courses, public space improvements, among other items. And I'm going to ask my colleague Jessica Boulanger to present these awards and give you the details.
Thanks, Jody. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Belanger. I am the Broadband and Digital Equity Grant Manager working on the RANGE program. And there are 2 housing operators that we bring for your consideration today. As Jody mentioned, the RANGE program was launched in April of 2024. And the purpose of the RANGE program is really to augment the new wiring installed as part of the retrofit program. The eligible activities included device procurement, public space improvement, digital navigation, and tenant coordination, as well as digital literacy. Next slide, please. The first item is Boston Housing Authority. We are requesting approval for 4 properties. They applied for a RANGE grant to improve connectivity, including access points at 4 of their Boston Housing Authority sites. The impact totals 407 homes, and it's just over $677,000. Next slide, please. And on this slide here, you'll see Quincy Housing Authority under Range Cycle 3. They applied for their Harborview and Holbrook Court properties, and the impact is 264 homes. And they're requesting funding to complete some digital literacy, public space improvements, as well as provide devices to residents. And this grant funding request is about $130,000. And that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions from the board. Thank you.
So I have a quick question. So are the different groups asking for quite different things? Because it seems like the cost per unit is quite different. So is it the breadth of what they're planning on doing that's making that difference?
Absolutely. So some of the sites have large public spaces. That includes like a community room. Maybe they have a couple of community rooms and they want to purchase desktop computers for there. Or another option might be some of the providers are actually bringing in somebody to provide courses for the residents, and that's where the prices tend to vary.
Any other questions? Okay, let's, why don't we bring the motion on screen? Do I have a motion to approve this grant?
So moved.
Second.
Terrific, thank you. Let's go ahead and do the roll.
Chancellor Chen,
Yes.
Rupa,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Bogdan,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
and Secretary Paley.
Yes.
All right, motion passes.
Well, that's our agenda for today. We got through it extremely quickly. I want to thank the team at MassTech for being so well prepared for finding these terrific projects for us to support. But we do not need a motion. So
We have one additional, I'm sorry, Secretary, I hate to cut you off. We have one additional item.
Great, please.
It's okay. Thank you, Secretary. The second item that MBI is bringing forward is
Apologies.
oh, that's okay. It's a connected and online program, which is also a capital projects funded program. MBI introduced this $23 million device program at a previous board meeting last fall, but we are bringing it back to the board today with an adjustment in how the funds are being structured between Dell and HubTech, who's the service provider on this project. So it's really just a reallocation of the funds. We're not expanding the amount of funds. It's just how we're going to be allocating and deploying them. So Caitlin Schubert is going to walk through the details of this request.
Hi, thanks everybody. Yeah, so as Jody said, we brought this forth to the board in the September meeting. Under the CNO program, we had 233 applicants apply and we were able to award 217 of them. This is going to total about just over 26,000 devices, 6,513 software packages, as well as 9,540 pieces of ancillary equipment. So we're super excited. If you can move to the next slide. At this time, HubTech was the core partner designated under the original bid with Dell, and their role is to provide all of the services for the devices. So all of the imaging, the delivery, the packaging setup, and the acquiring all the ancillary equipment. Due to the distinct natures of their roles under the project, and in order for us to remain on schedule, both vendors have requested utilizing ITC 73 state blanket contract. This would allow MassTech to purchase and invoice each vendor separately. It's for this reason that we're seeking board approval to take a portion of the funds previously awarded to Dell and award them to HubTech Local Services. This would be up to 10.7 million for services, and this will be in direct alignment with their proposal with Dell.
Great. Any questions on shifting the vendor allocation?
Just two administrative ones. Do we need to do anything then on the previous one, which would have said 23 million, but now would only be up to 13 or whatever, or is that taken care of?
I think it's fine because the original motion was not to exceed amount, so we can certainly contract under that amount.
Under that, okay. And I guess the other question is the language that I could hopefully, right? But suppose Hub gets into a problem because it says, well, we can't do what we're supposed to do because Dell isn't doing their part. Do we have some way to protect ourselves in that sense? Or we're not worried about that because now you've got two people that have to work together, right, to deliver.
So Caitlin, do you want to talk? They work together quite a bit. Yeah. So this is a well-established relationship, and they actually appear on the state contract. I think they work together all the time. They're in different categories, but they're partners. So Caitlin, please, if you want to add any details to that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. So Dell was actually the one who brought in Hub Technical Services as part of their original proposal. And so in it, they are partners in this, and we've talked extensively with them about this arrangement. And we feel very comfortable that the two will work together to execute the project. Dell has worked extensively with HubTech in the past, so we don't foresee any issues with that.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's helpful.
Any other questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve this? Well, the reauthorization of this grant for different vendor allocation?
I'll move the motion.
Great, in a second. I think I heard a second, so let's go ahead and do the roll.
Chancellor Chen.
Yes.
Rupa.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Bogdan.
Yes.
Paige.
Yes.
And Secretary Paley.
Yes.
Okay, the motion's approved.
Okay, unless there are any other items of business that I'm skipping over, which we know is possible, and I appreciate being reminded. I think at this point, I just want to thank the MassTech team for your continued diligent service, the board for volunteering to oversee all of this work and support the Commonwealth. And with that, we are adjourned. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Secretary.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.